staffs left. Remember, Egypt borders Libya and Israel and is considered America's most important Arab ally, and now no one's even running it. It certainly is extraordinary to watch, a moment of great celebration. The military has ousted the government. The people had said we need talks. The people had said you're not doing what we elected you to do, Mr. President. He brought in this Islamist ways of thinking, and Islamist rule was going farther and farther toward Islamist rule. The Egyptian people, 70% of all Egyptian people are under the age of 30. 70%. They will now be a part, says the leader of the military, of reforming the government. But this party is just the beginning. As Tim Marshall, the foreign affairs editor for Sky News, our network in Great Britain, put it tonight, there is no way to know what tomorrow brings. Certainly they will have new elections in a matter of just a few short weeks. Hopefully they'll be able to keep the two sides in this conflict, because make no mistake about it, President Morsi and his Islamist government have great support within the country. He was elected democratically, albeit by a narrow margin at 52 to 48%. But he did have a great deal of support among the Islamist faction of the country. Whether they will rise up in some way or attempt to against the military or against their fellow citizens remains to be seen. We can certainly hope not, because what the world needs in Egypt is stability, and the military reflected that just a short time ago. Watching over it all from Tahrir Square for us is our correspondent Connor Powell, who's covered wars in Afghanistan and uprisings in hot spots all around the world for us. It's my understanding, Connor, that these crowds are bigger and louder and more jubilant than they were when Mohamed Morsi came into power.
Shepard, what we understand is that these are the largest crowds from even before the revolution 2 years ago. I mean, the local staff that we've talked to here said that there are streets that are full of people tonight that have never been full of people before, even during the height of the revolution 2 years ago. So by all estimates, these are the largest crowds. One of our local guys was telling us, remember that 2 years ago, many Egyptians were still scared to go out and protest against the government, against the Mubarak era, and against the military, you should remember. Now Egyptians are fully comfortable to go out and to protest. They came out in mass on Sunday. They never left Tahrir Square. They never left the other cities and streets across all of Egypt, and they have been partying here all night. Really, it started yesterday because they believed last night that the military came out on the side of the opposition here against the military, against the Morsi regime here. And the people here in Tahrir really do believe, and have believed for the last, 48 hours or so, that the military was going to remove Morsi, was going to remove the parliament that they so disliked. And now their wish has come true. And they've been celebrating with this level of noise for more than 30 minutes now, Shepard.
It is quite astounding. Let's go to Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. Connor, stay there. Jennifer, big picture. What are we seeing here?
Well, Shep, what we're seeing is, in essence, it is a military coup that took place, but it is a military coup, as you heard our Sky counterparts talking about on the ground there. It is a coup with a transition. Now, what we know that the Pentagon has been in daily discussions with the heads of the Army, the Defense Chief Al-Sisi, who we just heard from. They have been very reluctant to talk about what message they were giving to the military. They didn't want to be seen. The U.S. does not want to have been seen as having had any part in this coup. But I'm also told by sources that the Pentagon and Pentagon officials did not tell the Army not to carry out this coup, not to push President Morsi out, because in essence it was very clear when you have 30 million people in the streets that that is also a democratic process. So what you are seeing here is the Army trying to keep some kind of peace and keep this thing from boiling over into violence by appointing this new interim president and getting to elections as quickly as possible. The military in Egypt does not want to rule Egypt. They saw how martial law went for 16 months. It was a disaster. There were large crowds that overthrew the Egyptian military, in essence, when they were mismanaging things for 16 months. The military in Egypt, however, is the only is the only institution that is seen as viable at this point. And we've seen some reports from Israel, among other places, suggesting that Israeli leaders are also pleased that the Egyptian military took this step. They never were comfortable with President Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood being in charge of Egypt. I've also heard from sources here in Washington that the Saudi Arabian government is very pleased that this has taken place. They obviously will not be pleased if the military holds on to power or if a civil war erupts. But this was the only option at this point in time, according to U.S. officials that I have spoken to and from reports from the region, from Israel and Saudi Arabia.
The liberal leader, Mohammed al-Baradei, from whom we heard so much before the 2011 uprising happened, he has just said, and I quote, "The 2011 revolution has been relaunched." In other words, the Arab Spring of 2011 is now the Arab Summer of 2013. The roadmap meets the demands for early presidential votes. Again, this from al-Baradei. Jennifer, this is all well and good, and it's great to see democracy's non-democracy division come in to do its work. But the truth is, with this sort of thing, you never know what you're going to get, and it is certainly possible, given the numbers and the population spreads there, that someone else from the Muslim Brotherhood could take that throne again.
Well, don't forget, the Muslim Brotherhood is still the most organized opposition group in Egypt. They have very good organization at the ground level. So if it goes to an election, it is still possible that the Muslim Brotherhood could win again. But it is also important to remember that President Morsi, even though he was democratically elected last October, he took some very anti-democratic measures in November when he changed the judiciary, he changed the constitution, he started to put into place things that were anti-democratic and were Islamist in nature. And essentially what you're seeing right now, Shep, is Egyptian people saying that they do not want Sharia law, they do not want the Muslim Brotherhood changing the Constitution. If the Muslim Brotherhood wants a seat at the table and to be the president or part of the parliament, then they have to remain democratic and not try and force their own version of democracy, if you will, and Sharia law down the Egyptian people's throats.
Jennifer, as our viewers may realize, we're cycling through. We have a number of cameras with the help of Sky News and ours all across Egypt, and this is a pro-Mohammed Morsi, a pro-Morsi group that has gathered more than 300,000, it's my understanding, in Cairo. There seems to be calm now. Are there concerns there or anywhere that some of those who were on the side of the president might turn this into something violent?
I think there's always concern when you have this size of crowds and you have competing crowds, and they are equally big from what we're hearing from our reporters on the ground. However, what I'm hearing from Pentagon officials and from other U.S. officials who are watching this closely is that they feel very confident that the Egyptian military is relatively in control. Remember, the U.S. has the Egyptian military securing its embassy right now. The U.S. has not moved any Marines into position to try and secure the embassy. They feel that the Egyptian military is stable and is in a position to protect that U.S. embassy. So that shows how much faith there is in the institution of the Army right now. The Army had moved its tanks in and around those areas where the Muslim Brotherhood supporters and the pro-Morsi supporters were gathered. The reason you're seeing calm there is that, in essence, they are surrounded by the military. The military is not going to let them sort of go and start connecting with these anti-Morsi demonstrators. So again, the next few hours are going to be crucial. It's not clear anytime you have these kind of crowds how things will go. But right now, this was the only option in terms of, from the point of view of many here in Washington who were watching this, they felt that with that many protesters in the streets demanding that the president leave, that some sort of democratic transition had to take place, and the Army was best situated to usher that through.
Jennifer, thanks. Our folks on the ground there from both Sky News and Fox News are telling us that these two groups, the pro-Morsi group and the anti-Morsi group, which were their rallies were about a half mile apart, have now come to within just a few blocks of each other. The new military, well, the military leaders who are now, in essence, in charge of the government, tell us that the state police will go in and act if violence comes. But it's almost as if two groups of rival schools are coming together, and they're coming together and meeting on a street. And the fear is that violence will break out just sort of haphazardly there on the streets. Egypt's leading Muslim and Christian clerics backed this army-sponsored roadmap, which suspends the constitution and calls for early presidential and parliamentary elections. They are screaming in the streets and lasering the helicopters above. Jonathan Hunt, who's worked in that region, it is an extraordinary thing to see.
Absolutely extraordinary, Shep. It's no doubt that we are witnessing and have witnessed here a military coup. It's a bloodless coup, but a bloodless coup for now. And the great concern tonight is what the Muslim Brotherhood leadership tells its supporters to do next. The military general who we heard making the announcement, General Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, has said the military will deal, quote, decisively with anybody who perpetrates any sort of violent act. So if the Muslim Brotherhood sends its supporters onto the street with orders to attack its opponents, then the military is in the middle. The military will have to referee this. And as I say, it's a bloodless coup, but the best you can say right now is that it is a bloodless coup for now. These are difficult hours ahead for the Egyptian people.
The Muslim Brotherhood must know that if they play right here, once the elections come along in a matter of a couple of weeks and